Okay, third time is a charm. Let's do it.
We totally didn't do 3 takes of this.
Yes, this is 1 take.
Okay. Welcome to the second episode of the DNB podcast. I'm your host, Embr.
And I'm Nodus.
Thanks for joining us. If you haven't checked out our first podcast, I highly recommend it. We had a special guest on, System, who is a drum and bass don in Perth. Dawn. She's been around for years. She's played all the big shows, and we were super lucky to have her come and join us for an interview. And she's also played our most recent event, The Bunker. So super lucky to have that.
Yeah. Thanks, System.
Yeah, big ups. Go check it out if you haven't already. So basically, the podcast today is just about us, a little bit of our background, who we are, what we do, what we're all about, just so you can kind of get to know us a little bit.
Yeah, if you're not already familiar with us, and if you are, it's still a good introduction. There's bound to be things you haven't heard about us before, and it's a good little intro into the podcast and why we started it and where we're taking it, and yeah, it'll be fun. We'll just talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad shit, of course.
And we'll probably be annoyed by the dogs.
Yes, you'll probably hear the dogs throughout this.
Apologies. So, yeah, why did we start this podcast, Em?
So, my opinion, it sounded like a really fun thing to do. So, obviously, we love talking about everything drum and bass, and that's our whole life. So.
Yeah, we live and breathe it.
Yeah. We wanted to bring the scene closer together, so we're going to be having guests on, so ranging from really experienced producers and DJs, promoters, to brand new DJs, and how they're perceiving the scene as they're coming into it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, big melting pot.
Yeah.
We'd also love to shine a spotlight on newbies and just the people that really deserve it, the quiet achievers. There's a few producers around Perth that don't really promote themselves in the way that they should. They're very humble.
Very humble, and self-promotion is it's really hard. It's hard. I'm not going to lie. And it can feel a bit self-indulgent, and I think today we're going to feel a bit self-indulgent. But it's just for fun, and yeah.
Yeah, I guess when we're playing an event, you always see Embr's bio or Nodus's bio, and it seems like a big head inflation kind of thing because it's all our highlights.
And it has to be like 2 or 3 paragraphs max, so it doesn't really give you much insight. It's just kind of, I've been around for this long, done these shows, had these releases. That's about it.
Yeah. So this is meant to be more of just kind of like a genuine conversation. Like this is our story. We're not trying to like blow smoke up ourselves. It's just a very realistic conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess.
Sorry.
That's right.
So that's pretty much why we had the podcast. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah. We've got some dogs scratching at the door. Hope you enjoy that too.
God.
Cool. So we'll start off with our origin story. So kind of like how we started and the path that we've taken up to where we are. That's an angry Billy in the background.
It's an angry Jack Russell.
Yeah.
How did you get started, Emily?
Me? Oh, I'm very glad you asked. Thank you for that question, Nodus. Okay. So I started playing piano when I was like 5 years old. So I was a tiny wee baby, and I practiced every day. My parents forced me to practice every day, which I hated at the time, but it's served me really well. So I've got a lot of like musical theory knowledge, and
jealous.
I mean, it's kind of slipped away a bit now, but it stays with you. So I feel like I've got a good ear in terms of music. I sung in the school choir, played the saxophone through high school. It was just all very. I just knew that I was going to do something to do with music. I planned to go to WAPA, and then I got a job at Hungry Jack's working full time, and I was just like, actually, making money's pretty cool. I don't think I want to go and study now. Making money and hanging out with my friends is really fun, so I'm just going to do that for a while. And then kind of progressed from there. So I ended up getting into a bit of a toxic relationship, and I was kind of stuck for a number of years. Just didn't feel like I could go anywhere or do anything. I didn't push myself because I was, kind of stuck, basically. So that's Billy. One day I decided that I just wanted to learn to DJ. Okay, little cut there because the dogs were getting a bit unbearable. I was a bedroom DJ. I had a tractor controller, and I was learning how to mix at home. And then one day I decided, I want to take this further. This is fun. I'm enjoying it. So I entered a DJ competition, which actually Harley entered at the same time.
And won.
And won, of course. He has to chuck that in there. But it was run by GKM, and I messaged them saying, hey, here's my mix, but I've never mixed on CDJs. I've only used a controller. So if that's a problem, I totally understand. And then Chris, KT Kinger, actually messaged me and was like, hey, if you want to learn how to mix on CDJs, I'm happy to teach you. So, I went round. He kind of showed me the ropes. It was that night and that time that my ex was like, oh, I can't handle this. I can't watch you chase your dreams. I can't be along for the ride. So that was pretty shit. But it was pretty much a deciding factor. It was like, okay, cool. Relationship's done. I'm going to go do my thing. And from there it was a lot of going to drum and bass events, made a lot of friends, made some connections. That's how I got my first gigs. So got offered a gig by Rhythm and GKM kind of at the same sort of time. So they were my first two gigs. What was it? It was a Rhythm Christmas thing. It was some Christmas themed event. It was at Metro City. So I played on the rooftop stage there, and it just happened to be packed when I was playing, and that was really cool. And
Nerve-wracking though, hey?
Terrifying.
First set and it's packed.
Absolutely terrifying. My legs were shaking, but I went up there and I played it, and I felt really good about it. And then when I came off stage, Harley was there, and you were like, oh, I'm so proud of you. So that was very sweet. And then the GKM gig was at Embr, and I used to be a big fan of Embr. I used to go to Embr all the time, so that was a dream come true for me. I guess then after that, it's just been working on music production. So I went to SAE and studied the Diploma of Music Production. That was a 7-month course, and that was really fun. And I got a lot out of it. So if anyone's thinking of going to SAE, definitely recommend it, as would Harley.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then it's been a bit of an upward trajectory from there. I got lots of gigs when I first started out. That's when I was studying at the same time. So for the first, I think, 13 weeks of my course at SAE, I had a gig every single weekend, and it was insane because I had a written assessment every weekend as well. And it was almost too overwhelming.
Yeah, SAE don't fuck around, hey?
No.
Every week you got something due. So.
Yeah, you gotta dive right into it and give it 100%.
Yeah.
So that was a big time for me. Really exciting though.
What a way to start, hey?
Yeah, just
first
bam,
gig,
bam, bam, bam.
packed show at Metro City rooftop, and then 13 weeks in a row of gigs.
Yeah.
Hectic.
Yeah, and then some highlights from there. I've had my first releases were on Ossity Music. They're a label based in the UK. Big ups to them. They gave me some awesome opportunities, and they give really good opportunities to a lot of new people as well.
So many new artists on there.
Yeah.
Every time I look on their SoundCloud, there's a bunch of new releases from people I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Which is great. They're really giving exposure to heaps of people.
Yeah, and it's a good opportunity as well to have a release on a label for someone who's still quite new. It's a good experience, getting into the habit of reaching out to the label, and really cool. So some other highlights, I've been contacted by some really big artists, some actual favourite artists of mine, to do some vocals for their tunes. A couple of them didn't actually, it didn't quite work out, so I sent them vocals and it didn't quite fit, or it just wasn't quite the vibe they were going for. But just to be contacted by them and to work with them a little bit was really cool. I've got a tune with Simula that hasn't been released yet, but I've played it at a lot of my shows, and he's happy for me to play that out, so that's fine. Hopefully that comes out one day. Super excited about that.
It's a big tune.
Big tune, big highlight for me. And then just little things like I was asked to be a moderator of the Perth drum and bass group. So Andy Carpenter hit me up. He's, if you don't know him, he's like the father of drum and bass.
He's the father of Perth drum and bass.
He's the Perth drum and bass father.
He's a legend.
Yeah, it's good because he was making sure that they were getting some female representation in the moderators group, which is really important. So it was really big honour to be asked that. And then I've played Inhibit gigs, I played GKM gigs, I played Wham Fest, played main stage at Metro City, I've played little small gigs like at the Sewing Room, at the Record Bite, kind of here, there and everywhere. It's just been really cool, really blessed to live in Perth and be a part of this scene.
Yeah, the Perth drum and bass scene's just amazing. It's like nothing else. Like you don't get that sense of community really. I never have it anywhere else before. Yeah, it's really great.
Very inclusive.
Yeah.
So now that I've done a lot of blabbing about myself, we're going to hear it from the man himself, Nodus. How did you get started?
Well, okay, so I had total opposite. I didn't have a musical background at all during my childhood. I wasn't really that interested. I think it's because all I heard was like radio tunes and like oldies stuff, and I was like, meh. But I was really exposed to hip hop as a child through like video games like Grand Theft Auto and stuff I probably shouldn't have been playing. So I listened to heaps of hip hop as a kid, and then eventually my sister introduced me to drum and bass, and I started hearing it in video games as well, like racing games, and that was my first exposure to drum and bass and really electronic music as a whole. And I just hadn't heard anything like it before, and I just kind of instantly knew that I wanted to be a part of that and make my own. Yeah, I just really wanted to make my own music, and around the same time I discovered DJing, and again just really decided that I wanted to be part of it. And one thing I remember saying to my mates is, I just want to make people dance. And I don't know, even back then I was like 15, 16, that's just, even then I knew that's what I wanted to do. So
awesome.
yeah, just eventually bought my first controller in about 2013. Taught myself how to mix on it. That was a Newmark mix track.
Oh,
Shocking little like 2-channel mixer controller. Sorry.
Did
Did the job. Yeah. So sort of learnt how to mix on that just by messing around, and eventually got some more gear to do mobile DJing, and started doing birthday parties, everything from 13ths all the way up to 50ths and all sorts of weird gigs in between, and actually did a scout jamboree with my mate Rob. That was really weird experience, but it was good. It's good. And around the same time I started studying at SAE. I actually started with the Certificate 3 in electronic music production, and did that. That was a 6-month course, I think.
Which doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist anymore, yeah. And that was actually in the old SAE building in East Perth. And then I really enjoyed it. Started just sort of head down, bum up, doing production and mobile DJing. But eventually I just started hating the mobile DJ game. It's a grind, man. Like, yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Not only do you have to obviously know so much music, have so much musical knowledge, I was just finding that like I felt like I was kind of selling my soul a bit, not really playing what I wanted to, and having some rather negative experiences from just just drunk people being...
Cop and abuse.
Yeah, you cop a bit of abuse. What do you mean you don't have that song? Play something good. How about you fuck off?
This is your daughter's birthday.
Yeah. Literally, like, almost got assaulted at someone's birthday party because I wouldn't play something or something like that. So, yeah, I was like, not interested in that anymore. So I decided to shift. Around the same time, I kind of decided that drum and bass is really what I wanted to do, and I wanted to focus on that. So I did sort of still enjoyed other styles of music, but just decided to just focus on mixing and producing solely drum and bass, because that's what I've always been most passionate about since hearing it. Started to get in the DNB scene around 2015-ish, just going to gigs, trying to go to as many as possible, just to meet as many people as possible, network, and despite being an extremely shy person, still at that stage of my life, I was found it really hard to, because I was going out by myself, purely just to, one, enjoy the music, but two, hopefully meet some people, and I did eventually. Met lots of people. Andy Carpenter, again, shout out, one of the first people I met, and just so approachable, such a nice guy, and I think I want to do that in our own events company. I want to just be approachable, because there's certain people that aren't. They just like to, chill in the green room or whatever, and how a newbie's ever going to meet you if you're just chilling there.
Yeah.
So anyway, met a lot of people. I was working on production at the time, and actually self-released a little 4-track EP as a free download, and that was a launch for my Nodus alias, which was just going to be for drum and bass. Got some really good response on that EP. Everyone was like, "Whoa, that's great! Who the hell are you?"
Froth in it.
Yeah. And that taught me a lot about, putting music out, networking, promotion, self-promotion, and I got to landed my first gig sort of through that. Someone called Matt Douthwaite, big up Matt.
Matty D.
He used to run Beyond Bass, and he actually gave me my first gig at Badlands Bar, and that was just such a rush. That was my first time properly playing what I wanted to, and having a crowd that was loving it and not telling me to play Katy Perry and shit like that. So that was an awesome time, and I think Matt Syke actually jumped on the mic as well, and that was like first time playing a DNB gig. And first time having an MC up with me, which is just such a cool experience, because the hype you get from that, the energy from the MC is such a cool thing.
Yeah.
And really that's like a connection between the DJ and the crowd a little bit. So from there I won a DJ competition. Woo!
Hey!
As the Good Karma Music DJ comp. They really helped to expose a lot of new DJs, including myself, and I got to play through that. I got to play their gig at Amplifier, and I think were you at that gig?
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fangirling, I bet.
Yeah. No. I went because I entered and I got free entry. I didn't even know who you were at that point. Okay.
Oh, damn.
I was just there raving.
Yeah. That was a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much since then just played a lot of... I started out playing a lot of small gigs, and started doing sort of dribs and drabs of self-released tunes, but eventually got releases on some actual labels, such as Bowie Audio, New Forms, which is a Perth crew, and Ossity, another one on Ossity, that Emily mentioned before. So that was really cool. Again, teaches you how to deal with a record label and how to do that self-promo and really get stuck in. Shut up, Billy.
Yeah, big ups Ossity. Big love for Ossity.
Yeah. Lots of, like I said, self-released tunes in between, and lots of mixes. I really, coming from the DJ side, I really enjoy crafting a mix and nailing it, getting it right, and that's a real rush as well. That's I mean, I've played, like I said, lots of small shows, Sewing Room, Rechabite, Embr. I played Embr. It was one of my first sort of proper gigs.
You even played Tetsuo. I never got to play Tetsuo.
I played Tetsuo. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was at Echo and Sidetracks gig, I think. No,
Document 1.
Document 1. Oh, yeah. Another good Karma one.
Yes.
Good on you guys.
Yes, I remember that. That was sick.
Yeah, that was great. That was actually one of the first times I think that was the first time that I played my own music in a club to a crowd. So that was such a rush. Yeah, that was a great feeling.
Yeah.
Since then, I've played some bigger shows as well, such as The Court for Inhibit, back-to-back this one. That was great. And also supporting Metro City as well, and some bigger places, even actually Origin, Silent Disco. That was heaps of fun. That was representing Inhibit, so that was absolute honour. And also just supporting some internationals such as TI, Upgrade, Simula, TC, Serum and Inja, Document 1, Flowidus, and probably some others that I'm forgetting. Yeah. And we even played our own headline show in Bunbury.
Mandra.
Let me try
Bunbury,
that again.
we supported Flowidus.
Yeah, so that's pretty much my story. Cut out a bit of the fat, but it's pretty much just working on music, working on mixes, playing gigs, and just being in the scene because it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
And met some absolute awesome people, some friends for life, had some wild experiences, and yeah.
On that, we're also going to talk about how we met. Ooh, very cute. So I spoke to a couple of people before we recorded this, and I asked them, what do you think we should talk about? What's interesting? It's hard to talk about yourself.
Yeah, that was hard.
It's very hard. It's like, do people care? Am I droning on? But one of the things that people want to hear is how we met. So we went to the GKM gig we were both at the same GKM gig, but we didn't meet. I had no idea who you were.
Yeah.
I do remember that you played a 6 set, so that was cool.
Thanks.
No, so we met.
It was at the same venue. We met at Amplifier.
It was at the same place. Yeah, that's crazy. So it was like a Thursday night, and this was when I was just getting out to a lot of drum and bass gigs, trying to like network and make friends. And I saw, first of all, I saw Harley pop up on my suggested friends, and I saw that he was like DJing, and I remembered him from the GKM gig, and I was like, oh, he's cute, so I added him. And then I saw him post that he was playing a gig on a Thursday night, and I was at work and I was like, let's go to some drum and bass gig tonight with to my friend. So we went, and Harley was played a 6 set again, and I was like, okay, I need to talk to him this time. So hung back a little while and offered him a smoke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Bad choices. It was a while ago. I was like, do you smoke? And he was like, yeah. So
And I said, smoke what? No.
Not quite, but I wouldn't have been surprised. Should we cut that out?
See how we go.
And yeah, we got chatting, and then I guess we exchanged numbers, and then
I remember we instantly clicked. It was just like we were on the same page. We were there for the same reason. We both had a passion for drum and bass and music in general. And yeah, you're just a cool chick. So I was like, I'll keep chatting to her because she's nice and she's cute. And then that was pretty much it. Yeah, and then we just started chatting, like texting, and then I think that was pretty much how we met anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
then,
rest is history, I guess.
I'm going to let the dog in.
I remember the first time we hung out, we binge watched Big Mouth season 1, and it was the best icebreaker ever.
Yeah,
like
it really was.
It was, yeah. It was. If you've ever seen that show, you know what I'm talking about. It's fucking wild. But yeah, it was great. We watched like 8 episodes in a row or something.
So much.
And And it was a good time. So we knew we clicked, and the rest is history, I guess.
A funny part of that is I remember looking at the photos from that night that got posted on Facebook, and there was one of me and Harley standing at this table just chatting, and then my friend was like just
We might have
over
been
it
chatting
next
for a
to
while.
us.
Yeah, she was pretty bored.
Yeah, that was I agree. I think we clicked, and I think we had the same kind of goals, and we were both as motivated as each other.
Yeah.
And
eventually we started, we did a few gigs together. I think Society was the first crew that booked us for a back-to-back, and that was at Embr.
That was Connor's idea.
Ah.
Shout out to Connor, because
We love cons.
We do. He I can't remember some post on Facebook, and Connor was like, "Oh, when's the back-to-back?" And we were like, "Oh, that's a really cool idea." And then I can't remember what happened there, but
Yeah, somehow we got booked, and I think we've always had a pretty similar taste in music. It's funny because like I used to love neuro, and just like heavier the better, just destroy my ears, please.
that's so crazy to think about now.
Yeah, because now
Your style's so different.
Yeah, really like rollers and a little bit of jump up and like ragga influence stuff, and so we've both come a long way, but I think we've always had a pretty similar taste in music, and it went really well. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. We had fun, and from there we just started getting more and more back-to-back gigs, and I think that's given us a lot of experience and exposure. So we're very grateful for those shows.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like pretty much how we met. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the.
We went through a
all the
lot
important bits,
together in sort of playing shows, and just started getting more sort of like more experience in the scene, and I think we both really wanted to do events of our own, but I don't think we knew that about each other.
Yeah. That kind of, so that's another thing we wanted to talk about, is how Motive started, what inspired us to get into it, how did we get into it. So it was sparked, in all honesty, from a really not great gig that we played.
We played a lot of not great gigs.
Yes.
But this one in particular was a very bad experience.
Yeah, like to the point we went home angry and upset, and we were just like, how can people do this? How can people run events and care so little about their locals? Like, yeah, the headliner, the international artist is important and is the big drawing factor, but without your supports, you've not really got a show, you know? So at this gig, there was issues with the sound, and it meant that we couldn't hear ourselves like through the booth monitor. We couldn't beat match, so
and
therefore
it was like a massive delay, like a 1 second delay, which was like impossible to mix on, basically.
Yeah, so basically we had there was quite a few what would have sounded like beat matching issues, and that's not because we can't beat match, it was because of the sound, and we were really annoyed because we felt like we were completely misrepresented, like that's not us. We're better DJs than that.
Yeah, and we were really annoyed because the promoter never even checked, like didn't do a sound test.
Yeah, obviously.
And then when we told that promoter, oh hey, this is the problem, we just got cool.
Literally,
that's it.
Cool. I
Cool.
explained everything that's going on. This is the issue. You might want to get that sorted, and it was just cool. Nothing was fixed.
So yeah, this wasn't an isolated incident either. We'd had a few problems with this person already, and just this like disregard for us. We were just so like Em said, like angry, upset, and it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. We were just sick of it. So we went home in a bit of a huff, and and
I literally felt really upset. Like
Yeah.
I just wanted to cry. I was like, I feel like everyone just thinks I'm shit now, but I've worked so hard
it was a pretty packed gig as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked so hard to get where I am and prove myself as a DJ, and this is just, it feels like it's completely undone everything.
Yeah, so
But
we were pretty cut by it, and just to go cool and not care, or, you know, it's just so basically starting Motive was our way of kind of saying, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Do the right thing by everyone.
Yeah.
as you know, as much as you can, and yeah, that means doing the right thing by the locals, by even the internationals, the punters, the venue, the staff, and just doing the best you can, because this is something that we live for, and I think we both agree that if you're going to do something, you should do it right,
Yeah.
as well as you can, and stand behind your product or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, give it your all.
You have to be in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You have to be in it for the love of the scene, the love of the music, and it's like, you know, you want to better the scene overall, not just benefit yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So
you need to
that
care
was the
about it.
motivation, and then and we had the opportunity to band together with a couple of people very close to us who were a lot more experienced than us in events, and just had some money behind them as well. So we kind of came to them with this idea, and they said, let's do it. So that was the launch of Motive. We did a Australia Day party at Rock Rover in Fremantle, which is the old Fremantle Dockers ground, their actual footy club. They had renovated it into a big space with a mad sound system, and it was just, yeah, it was a good way for us to start. Being a day party, it was a great venue for that because it had lots of light. It was kind of semi-outside, and yeah, that's how our first event went down.
Yeah. Fun fact about that event: we were supposed to have Ed Solo, Benny Page, and Decline as our headliners. That's why we were confident in being able to do an Australia Day event, even though it's Australia Day and there's a lot going on.
We've since learned that. Well, we learnt a lot from that show, but one of the things was that, yeah, Australia Day there's a lot going on.
It's risky.
A lot of events and a lot of people doing their own thing.
Yeah, and I guess don't get too carried away with an idea until it's all locked in.
Yeah, because
get the artists locked in.
We obviously
get the
didn't
venue
have
locked
these
in.
artists locked in, but we already started. We locked in the venue, the supports, everything. We started the Facebook, all the socials, everything that goes along with that. And then we found out we couldn't get Ed Solo, Decline, and fucking Benny Page. Thank you.
But by a complete miracle, I got hit up by our friend Harry Powell, or Confucius, as you might know him. And he was saying that his friend was coming over from the UK and was asking, because he knew that we'd just started running gigs, asking if we had any opportunities for her. Turns out it was none other than Becky Safe, who is
big up,
awesome female drum and bass DJ and producer. I'd been following her on Instagram for a little while before that. Just really cool chick. And we were like, yes, this is amazing. This lines up so perfectly. And we managed to get Becky Safe on as our international headliner for our first gig. And that's pretty amazing to have an international headliner.
Yeah, so lucky to that lined up how it did, and
it was amazing. The turnout was so much better than we could have hoped for. Given the circumstances and the change of plans and the kind of things falling through. The people that came through were just really nice, really genuine drum and bass lovers, and a lot of them still come to all of our gigs, and we love them so very much.
Yeah, we love you guys.
It's
a reflection
so
of the scene, though. Everyone's just there for the music and the good times. There's no aggro. There's no, big heads. There's no. I don't think I've ever seen a fight at a gig, at a drum and bass gig.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare. It's
rare.
I
mean, it's just a great community to be a part of. So thank you to everyone who came to that and continues to come to our events, because we couldn't do anything without that.
Exactly. Yeah. And then a bit about what we're about at Motive, because of all this, because this is how we view the scene, and this is what we value in the scene, in that it's very inclusive. We're all about the love of the music and the love of this group of people that, they're all just so nice and genuine. That's kind of what we're trying to push with Motive. And it's hard to try and push an ideal as a promoter. You can't force people to act a certain way, but I guess the way that we're trying to do it is through the promoting of these events. Like with the bunker, the motto is like it's all about the love for the music. Dance like it's the end of the world. Wear whatever the heck you want. Be yourself. Just trying to push the ideal in that way. And then if we see anyone at our events that is, being a bit antisocial or seems like a bit of a turbo, just jumping on that real quick, get them the heck out of there.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't want that energy. That's not what it's about.
No.
And we've had that
No one
before.
wants that.
We've had to do that before.
Unfortunately, yeah. That's been at kind of like the end of the night at certain events in the last like hour or so. So it's just, people that have kind of come in at the end of the night. They're, they're not drum and bass heads. They're just coming in for somewhere to drink and somewhere to party. But we jumped onto it pretty quick. And I guess we'll just continue to do that.
Yeah. Like it's all about inclusivity and just being whoever you want, really.
I think I'd love to see... I'd love to see just all walks of life coming to our events, and I want to see people just feeling comfortable being themselves. We try our best to make our lineups diverse. It is a conscious choice to try and make sure that we've got females on all the lineups. It's not the case of like a token female kind of thing. It's if you've ever heard of an inclusivity rider. Have you heard of that term before?
No, what's that?
That's something pretty recent that I've seen. They're doing it in New Zealand. The Upbeats have an inclusivity rider. So basically every gig they play, they have to have a certain amount of females on the lineup.
Okay.
Which, it's a bit of a weird idea to get your head around at first. To some people it can seem like a token female kind of thing. But like the reality is, until it's normal, it's just going to seem like a token female thing.
Yeah.
So we have to make the conscious choice to make sure that there are females on the lineup. Any other kind of minority that we don't see DJing at the moment, if we can try and get that on our lineups as well, that's what I'd really like to do. Make sure everyone feels included, everyone feels welcome, and everyone's represented.
Yeah, and it's a fine line to walk. Like you see certain people doing ladies' nights where it's an all female lineup, and I think maybe their heart's in the right place, but
with some people,
but it's kind of like you should just be booking them anyway. It shouldn't be this special thing. Oh, you need a leg up because you're a girl, so here's a ladies' night for you.
Exactly.
It's like nah. Get them on your normal lineups.
Yeah.
Because there's so much talent out there.
Exactly.
And it is hard for girls to get out there.
It can be, yeah. And
because it's a very male-dominated space. Yeah. Because it's intimidating. Even more so for you, I think, for girls than it is for guys in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like a lot of girls like. Any female DJ that you talk to will have a story of being condescended to, or someone's been sexist to them. I've got those stories. I'll probably save them for another time, but everyone's had it. There's just, I guess, like a mentality with some guys that they're threatened. They're just in their mind. They're like, "There's no way that she can produce. There's no way that she's a better DJ than me." It's like, well,
it's
maybe
the same kind of
maybe
people
she is.
that say, "Oh, you're pretty good for a girl."
Yeah,
it's like, what does that mean? That's such a backhand.
I'm a human. Like,
yeah.
I'm not just a girl. I'm a human and a DJ, and
So we want to book everyone, anyone and everyone. I don't care.
Yeah.
Who you identify as, just be yourself and have a good time.
Have a good time. Play a good set. Have the right kind of morals and ethics. Like just we're not like virtue signaling, but we just want to make sure we're getting on the right people that are doing all the right things.
Yeah, and a lot of promoters are doing. I think pretty much every promoter is doing the right thing.
And then I think one last thing that I'd like to touch on just before we move on to a little thing that we've got planned at the end is what is involved in the life of a promoter, or at least from our perspective anyway, what's involved at Motive.
What's involved? Lots of communication.
So
much communication.
A lot of emails with venues, the people that organise the marketing, you've got your graphic designers, you've got obviously the DJs and the artists.
Photographers, videographers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of budgeting. We have to make sure that we sell enough tickets to cover our costs. And then at the end of the day, it is a business, so we do need to make some money on it so that our events can keep growing and getting better. Like, for example, the bunker, we're getting we got a big visual screen thing, whatever you call it.
LED screen. Yeah, we're professionals.
Yeah, we know our terminology.
Yeah.
A big screen with some visuals that we had made up, and we bought a couple of lights for that show that we'll continue to use with our other events. So it's just like a snowball, you know. You got to keep growing and getting better. Otherwise, it's kind of like, you know, we've seen this before. Like,
you got to keep it interesting for sure. But I think a big part of being a promoter or putting on the shows is, like I said, communication, but just knowing your way around social media it's the only way to reach people, really. Word of mouth, once they've been to a show, is probably the best promotion, but yeah, just getting in people's faces is really hard.
Unfortunately.
And, it's just the way of the world now. Like, yeah, it's fine. You figure it out. And I mean, it's a blessing, really. Like, you don't have to go out into the city with actual flyers and hand them out to 100 people who don't care. So, you know, it's got its pros and cons. It's hard, and you don't want to come across as spammy or like, you know, I don't care about, you know, my actual friends. I'm just here to spam. You know, it's a fine line you got to walk. But we are really passionate about it. So it's kind of, you know, it's I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's hard.
You know, it's hard. Like, we want to put across that this is our life. Like, this is what this is our baby. This is what we're putting all of our time and effort into. And it might come across as a bit spammy every now and then, but that's just how it works.
That's
and
how
I think
it is, yeah.
I think that anyone in the drum and bass scene who's, you know, interested in these events won't mind. And if it gets spammy, I'm sure they can just unfollow us.
I'm sure many have already. That's fine.
Probably.
God bless you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. I unfollow people as well.
That's whatever.
It's expected.
But yeah, that's a good point. Social media is a massive part of the job.
Even if you're not putting on shows, if you're just in the scene, like if you're trying to get gigs as a DJ or you're trying to get out there as a producer or both, it's like that's your hub. Like everything that you do makes it there and then gets spread out to, you know, all your socials, all your stories and all that stuff. So that's the big part of it. But also just like just being being a nice person, being approachable at shows, that even if they're not yours, you know, just because we love it, that's who we are anyway.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important. And there's you know, there's been times where I've found that certain promoters don't do that. They'd rather just hang out in the green room or whatever, which is fun. But you know, we want to promote like everyone in it for a good time, and if we're just in the back room, then what kind of fun is that?
Exactly.
So, and like we've both been that person that's like the last person to leave Embr at 5 a.m. So we love it anyway. So, yeah. What else? What else is in the life of a promoter?
I mean, a lot of ups and downs.
You got to ride the waves.
Yeah,
you got to just accept that that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
At least as you're starting out, and we're still starting out in a way.
Yeah.
So we're still riding those waves.
Harley is very used to me now and desensitized to me coming running up to him like, Harley, I've got the best idea ever for this event, and then he comes in with but what about this and the logic, and then I'm like, damn it, didn't think about that. So I'm all amped up, and then I'm like, shit, back to the drawing board. But then every now and then I come in with a winner, or Harley will come in with a winner, and it's just like, yes, it's meant to be, and it all lines up. And
teamwork, that's another big one. If you're in a team, which I think you kind of have to be.
I think trying to do all this by yourself.
You couldn't do this by yourself, I mean, you'd have to be a prodigy. Like, it's so much work, and it's a lot of second guessing yourself and like reassuring each other. Like sometimes we're not sure about an idea, and just being able to talk to someone about it is such a blessing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's been a couple of times where we've been like, I think this event is not going to, we're not going to sell enough tickets to cover our costs. And then we start freaking out and spiraling, and then the other person's like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's money. It's not life or death.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then you kind of come back down to earth, like, yeah.
It's a roller coaster, but you do have to make money.
Yeah.
You got to eat, and if your events if they're flopping, then they're limited.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to do it for very long. So support your local promoters.
Yeah.
Buy a ticket. Don't ask for free entry or guest list. Please.
If
a lot of work goes into it. You don't go to Woolies and be like, oh, can I just get me one of those? I'll just walk out. That's fine.
On that point, if you're a real friend of the promoter, you'll buy a ticket. And if you're in a position where you're really broke but you really want to come and support the event, we've had that before, and they were just straight up and honest, like, I've got no money, but I really want to come and support the event.
I think we've been that person before.
I've been so broke at that point for sure, and like always happy to help out in that situation. But if you can afford it and you like what we're doing and you want to support us, just buy a ticket. Like,
it really goes a long way.
It's usually not that much, and it really helps us out.
Yeah, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of money invested into the business. So yeah.
And this studio.
Yeah.
The studio was not free, but we do it because we love it. It's not a pressure. Give us money, buy tickets.
Money.
Like,
nah.
No, yeah. This is what we love.
If you're trying to make money in the music industry, got some bad news for you.
Yeah,
you do
got
it for
some really
love.
good connections.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, or just no, I won't say it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh God, is it game time?
It is.
Game time.
Fucking game time.
Embr Nodus. What games are we playing?
Nodus.
Game time.
Okay. So we prepared a little game called How Well Do You Know Me? And this is going to be super cringe.
This
cute,
is for the lols.
And probably a little bit awkward, but that's fine. So we asked our two dogs, Trigger and Billy, we asked them to ask us questions. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what we did.
They asked us some questions.
Yeah.
Well, they've got some questions lined up for us.
Yeah.
So we have to answer for the other person. So say the question is, what is your partner's name? I have to write down what I think Harley's name is, and he has to write down what he thinks my name is. And at the same time, we have to write down the correct answer for ourselves. So, in the question of, what is your partner's name? On one side, I'm going to write Harley. And on the other side, I'm going to write the answer for me.
Ah. I'm new to this as well.
I am.
Got me...
It's obvious.
We don't have an eraser either, do we?
We have a t-shirt.
I've got a white t-shirt.
Okay, you can use mine, it's fine.
Cheers.
Okay, so, question...
Billy, would you like to...
Yeah.
Would you like to hit it off?
Question number 1.
When is your partner's birthday?
God.
Good question there,
Oh,
Billy, and I
goodness.
thank you for
so
it.
So I put your birthday and mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, what you think is my birthday?
It's easy to remember. Birth year as well.
Let's leave the year out.
We're not close to 30. What are you talking about?
Some people might know, but I am slightly younger than Harley.
Legit,
jokes.
slightly, not that much.
Low jokes, I'm older than Harley. Okay, so, ready? Harley's birthday, my birthday.
Easy.
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
That was a test one.
Okay.
My finger works pretty well.
Yeah. We got to start with an easy one.
So that's
Get
how the
warmed
game
up.
works. That was Billy's question. Let's move on to Trigger's question. What you
do
got,
for
Triggy?
us?
What are your partner's long-term goals?
Not to get bitten in the face.
Oh my god.
There's so many.
Maybe we'll just pick like 3 long-term goals.
Short-term goals to have some tea.
Ooh. Did we get some ASMR there? Okay, I'm doing my last one.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. What do you got? Release a lot of music, travel the world, run sick events. Travel, start family, release a lot of music. Yeah, so it was basically the same. Okay, so the first one's super broad, enjoy life, right?
It is.
That's what else are we here for?
Yeah.
Family.
It's broad, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Family, super important to us.
Yeah.
Financial freedom. I think everyone wants that. That's another basic
Yeah.
one. And music. So releasing, putting on sick events, and just being a part of the scene, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That
Was
was kind of
is
like
that correct?
I don't know if you can really do correct and incorrect
Well,
with that one. You know?
Does that align with your goals?
Definitely. They're quite similar.
Thought so. Alright, is it Billy's turn for a question?
Yes. Let's do it.
Go on, Billy.
What was your partner's first exposure to drum and bass?
Oh.
Oh. It's really funny because you actually even talked about that
Mm-hmm.
when you were talking about yourself. So it's very easy for me. But I did already know this.
You already know this.
I do know this.
Ah.
Oh.
I'm just going to guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is right.
Okay. So.
This is not going to be right, I don't think.
Ta-da.
Yes!
Yay.
I got it! Yeah,
So
boy.
Chelsea showed you a drum and bass mix, and then you heard some in your video games, and
Yeah.
my big brother Greg introduced me to pendulum.
Hey, so
Yes.
both our older siblings introduced us
Ah.
to drum and bass, and I think probably pendulum was definitely one of the first for both of us. So big up to Greg and Chelsea, and big up to pendulum.
Pendulum.
I think they influenced so many people. So
Yeah.
serious big up to them. I mean, who listening to this doesn't like pendulum?
If
you
you're
get the
listening to
fuck
this and you don't like pendulum, get out. Okay, Trigger, you up?
What is one of your partner's favorite gigs that they have ever played?
Oh, this is easy. This is recent. So, okay.
Da-da-da-da.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're correct.
yes.
Oh, I forgot about T.I.
Forgot about my boy T.I.
The Bunbury show, though, was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we were supporting Floridas in Bunbury, and far out, man. The people there just went off. They loved it.
Right up at the decks.
Yeah, it was a
leaning
boiler room.
over,
Boiler
like-
room set. It was like barely bigger than this room. Just the energy was incredible, though.
Fully
Such a
hyping
cool
us up.
experience. That was probably one of the first back-to-backs we did as well. So
Yeah.
maybe the second or third.
One of them. Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
What is your partner's favorite TV show?
Ah, come on, it's so
I
easy.
love that boy.
Favorite TV show of all time, or
Yeah.
all right, let's do it.
Actually, I forgot about The Simpsons.
How could you forget about The Simpsons?
Okay, well, at the moment, my favourite show is Modern Family, but all time,
Simpsons,
The
come on.
You're right.
You got
Oh,
the
fucking
Mr.
South Park.
Sparkle water bottle and everything.
Mr. Sparkle.
Oh, and let's not forget the slightly more permanent
Oh, yeah.
thing you got.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I
have
almost put
Simpsons.
Simpsons for myself, but I think South Park is just a bit more controversial, so it's more up my alley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I fucked that one up. I lost
Boo,
real bad.
you don't know
Boo,
me.
Wendy.
Boo, Wendy Testaverde.
Okay,
We spend too much time together.
Trigger. What you got?
What is your partner's favorite song or artist?
Okay, well, I want to plug this song anyway because it's fucking sick. Anyone that hasn't heard it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yay!
We did it. We did it.
That's
Probably,
an easy one.
Yeah. Big up to Annex. They're like right up there for me as well. But T.I. is just
Fuck
my
yeah,
boy. He's got that style. And this song, Vlad the Inflator, it's fucking just so sick.
What is one of your partner's biggest pet peeves?
Oh, okay. No, I got it.
Oh shit.
I got it. Because I do this
I bet we do one more question and then we wrap it up.
Yeah, because I'm sweating in here. Let's do it. Ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Rude customers. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I was thinking more in like in your day-to-day. Well, that is your day-to-day, but I guess like home life.
Backseat
but-
driving was only really a problem yesterday. That's probably why it's fresh in his mind.
Yeah.
I know that does annoy me, but rude customers annoy me a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, messing up something that I've just tidied / organised.
That's the quickest
kill
way
you.
to
Yeah.
piss Harley off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Or
there are
just
people that do that.
Driving like a dickhead is annoying as well.
Yeah, that's
so
true, that's-
try not to do that.
That is a pet peeve.
Yeah.
What is your partner's talents?
I don't know how to write this, and it's probably going to sound really dumb. While you're waiting for Harley, please enjoy reading mine. Ah, people skills.
I'm not really that.
I was
I'm
singing
alright
this
with it.
musical, but thank you.
Yeah, well, I said I was going to do one musical.
Ah.
Good with car stuff. Oh, and cooking. Yeah, I'm alright at cooking. I'm
Yeah,
good
you're
at
good
following
at
a
cooking.
recipe that someone's already worked really hard to refine. And I'm good
Yeah,
with...
but you do the thing.
Yeah.
You carry it out. And
Yeah, I
you
do the
it.
thing. I know I'm alright at cooking.
We're
Good
gonna
with
make a
car
cheesecake.
stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have some after the show.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, so this email communication, that's kind of... I've just put organisation, but that's like... includes that because
Ah, thank you.
you know what's going on when... I always have to be like, so when is this happening? And who's there? And so what's happening again? And she just knows. She just knows what's going on. So organisation, knowing what the fuck is going on. You got your shit together, and that's a great talent. Yeah. And you're a great singer.
Thanks. Thank you. That was the end of compliment time with Nodus and Embr.
Ah, that was the end of the circle jerk section.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't mean for this to be a big like, oh, all about me kind of thing, but we just wanted to give a little bit of background about ourselves.
I guess in a way it's like this is all about us, but not in a self-centered way. We just want to introduce ourselves and what the podcast is going to be about. And,
Yeah. You want to know who you're listening to.
yeah,
and
you gave some backstory. I think
what's
that's
our whole deal?
I think that's a decent backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll fill in little blanks here and there throughout the different shows.
Yeah.
Of which you can expect local guests, local DJs, producers, promoters, event organisers. Just
Yeah.
if you're in the scene, and we think you're cool, and hopefully international guests.
That's another thing, yeah.
When the borders are open and all that jazz.
We're really hoping we can get some international guests on. Even if the borders aren't open, hopefully we can get some international guests on through Zoom.
The internet.
The internet. There is this big magical thing that allows us to talk to people that are not even here.
What?
Yeah, but really excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
We're going to explore like fun topics, more serious topics like the women in drum and bass movement. That's a big thing that I want to explore, and just like
Trying to hear some cool stories from people and
Yeah.
some people's insight that might not usually, you might not usually get to hear their
Yeah.
experience or their, story. So, like I said, producers, DJs, promoters, even MCs, photographers, just anyone behind the scenes. Expect to hear a lot from those kinds of people.
Yeah.
We want to pick their brains because we still don't know a lot.
Exactly. You'll learn something from every single guest that we have on because
Yeah.
everyone that we're going to talk to just has a really interesting life and a completely different experience in life to us. So and to
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah.
it's worth listening, worth
Yeah.
learning, and yeah.
Well, hope you've enjoyed the second episode of the DNB podcast with me, Nodus, and Embr. And
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.